angle.
Squatters steal soldiers' home, weren't expecting who showed up in the night. It seems that the disrespectful feelings Barack Obama fostered during his presidency towards the military has spread like wildfire throughout the country. Where in the past people went out of their way to thank those that defend our freedom in today's world, people seem to go out of their way to spit in our brave men and women's faces. That disgusting sentiment has been demonstrated in various ways, including NFL players who kneel while the national anthem is played before a game in front of the entire country. Unfortunately, that trend had made its way to the American mindset, where squatters stole a soldier's home and refused to leave when he returned from where he and his family were stationed. Now, those squatters received instant payback with who showed up to evict these house thieves that they weren't expecting. Our military men and women have enough to contend with when they are overseas that the last thing they should have to worry about is how they are treated when they get back home. Oh, but that was before Obama spread his vile hatred for America and those that defend it, right? At any rate, now that disgusting mentality has crept into our society, along with an over-the-top sense of entitlement that seems to be growing at an alarming rate, which we see every day. Sadly, one soldier and his family had to deal with this disgusting display of disrespect up close and personal when two squatters took over his home while he was stationed in Hawaii and refused to leave. Army SPC Michael Sharkey and his wife returned to their home in Newport Richey, Florida, when they were met with a surprise. Two convicted felons had taken up residence in their home and refused to leave, saying that they were permitted to live there for free as long as they did repairs on the house. The squatters had changed the locks and refused to leave no matter what Sharkey said to them, but then it got worse. When Sharkey and his wife called the police to have them removed, they said there was nothing that could be done since these nasty thieves had already established residency at the house and that this would need to be settled in civil court. "They are criminals," said Sharkey to WFLA. "I am serving my country, and they have more rights to my home than I do." Well, thankfully there was some good Samaritans out there that heard this soldier's plea for help and answered the call and made sure these squatters left the home for good. Here is more America now. Army SPC Michael Sharkey says that he and his wife haven't lived in their Florida home in the 2 years that he's been stationed in Hawaii, but upon learning they could go back to Florida, they were shocked to discover that two ex-cons broke in, changed the locks, and were refusing to leave. Unfortunately for Sharkey, he was told that legally, there was nothing he could do to force them out. "They are criminals," said Sharkey to WFLA. "I am serving my country, and they have more rights to my home than I do." Police told Sharkey that they could do nothing about the couple, Julio Ortiz and Fatima Cardosa, since they already established residency, so the matter would have to be settled in a civil court. Ortiz claims that he made a verbal agreement with Sharkey's friend, who was overseeing the home while the soldier and his wife were gone, that they could live there for free as long as they did repairs on the house. Both Sharkey and his friend say those claims are lies, but Ortiz has continued to defend himself. "The people that are in this house cannot produce any documentation, lease, agreement, anything that they belong in that house," said Sharkey. Once word got out that the squatters had taken over Sharkey's house, a group of military veteran bikers announced that they would be paying a visit to the home to peacefully make the squatters uncomfortable. That seems to be all it took, because now, reports say that Ortiz and his girlfriend have packed up their belongings and are leaving the home for good. It is disgusting that the law protected these house thieves instead of the rightful owner, who happens to be an active serviceman. The only good thing out of this story is that the military community came together to help defend this soldier and help spread the name of these settlers to everyone in the country. Hopefully, these people are now so shamed by their deplorable actions they will stay out of trouble and give something right back to the community instead of stealing.